Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to learn about word problems. A word problem is like a story in math where you hear a story and you figure out what it's asking you, and it gives you numbers, and then you use those numbers and find the answer to your problem. You find the solution. So, for example, if I said Mary gave me $2 and then Johnny gave me $3. How many dollars do I have altogether? Well, that's a word problem, and I can use that word problem to figure out how many dollars I have. So, you probably already know that if I had $2 and I had three more dollars, then altogether, how many would I have? I can count on my fingers: one, two, three, four, five. So I would have $5. But sometimes you need a little help finding out those solutions. And we've used different strategies in the classroom, but you can also use those same strategies at home when you're trying to solve a word problem or any kind of math problem. So today's lesson is kind of going to help you with doing some of your other math as well. So, since we're at home, you may not have the same things you have at school. A lot of times we use our whiteboards with our dry erase markers. Maybe you have something like that at home, but even if you don't, you can still use our strategy of drawing pictures to solve your problem. So, I've got just a clipboard and some white paper, and I've got a marker. You can use any kind of paper. You could, if you don't have a clipboard, you could just put a book underneath it for something to write on. You could sit at the table and just use your table with your paper. You can use a pencil, a pen, it doesn't matter, just as long as you have something to write with and something to draw on. So I'm going to use the Sharpie so you can see it. And so we said that Mary gave me $2, right? So I'm just going to draw a couple of rectangles. Those are my $2 that Mary gave me. And Johnny gave me $3. So I'm going to use three rectangles to represent the dollars that Johnny gave me. Now you can be detailed or not detailed. This would be fine. I can just leave it like this. Or if I want to, I can add more details. So I'm going to make these look more like dollars. So now I've got more of a picture of each item. So there's $2 plus $3. Now I want to write that out into a number sentence, and you're going to be doing that on a lot of your work this week. So if I wanted to do a number sentence, Mary gave me $2, two, and I'm trying to find out how many all together. So am I adding or subtracting? I'm adding, that's right. So I want to do a plus. So 2 plus, Johnny gave me $3. 2 plus 3. And then what do we put before our answer? Equals. So my number sentence is 2 plus 3 equals, that's right, it's 5. 2 plus 3 equals 5. So that's one way you can use a strategy to figure out your word problem. You can draw a picture. Okay? What if I had a different word problem and I wasn't adding? We've done this before too, so I know that you know how to do this, but we're going to try it together. So, let's see, what could we do? Let's do balls. Let's say somebody gave us some balls. So we were going to go out on the playground, and one of our friends gave us, let's say they gave us 6 balls. So let's draw those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kind of with me. Did I get the right number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So I have 6 balls to go out on the playground, right? Well, there's a teacher next door, and she decides she wants to take her students out to the playground, but they're all out of balls because we took them all. So we're going to share because we're good friends. So let's share. Let's give that teacher next door 3 of our balls. Okay? So we had 6 balls. We gave 3 of those balls to the teacher next door. How many balls do we have left? Okay, so I've already got my 6 balls. Do I draw 3 more balls? No, because we're not getting more, we're giving some away. So instead of drawing more, I can put an X on the balls we gave away. So how many did we give away? 3. So 1, 2, 3. So how many balls do we have left? 1, 2, 3. Very good. Great job. You're getting it. So this is a subtraction word sentence. So let's write that out. Or no, number sentence. So we started with 6. Now, am I adding or subtracting? I'm subtracting because we're taking away. So 6 minus, how many did we give away? 3 equals, 6 minus 3 equals 3. Okay, and that's our answer. Now, we do another thing at school. Instead of using whiteboards or drawing pictures, sometimes we use manipulatives. And I know you guys love getting out the manipulatives. We've got a lot of different kinds of manipulatives. We have Lincoln cubes. We have little bears. We have all kinds of things that you use to help you count. So you probably don't have all that stuff at home, but you can use other things to help you with your problems. So one thing that I bet a lot of you have at home is blocks. We have several boys at home, several little boys. So we've got a lot of blocks. And we've accumulated a lot over the years from my big kids and my small kids. So I just chose these blocks. These are little cubes with numbers and letters on them, but it doesn't matter what's on them. We're just using them to count with. So if I was going to use these for a number problem, I could say Max gave me 1 block. Miles gave me 2 blocks. How many blocks do I have? 1, 2, 3. 3 blocks. That would be your answer. Now that was a really easy one. 2 plus 1 or 1 plus 2 equals 3. You can do some harder ones with bigger numbers. And you can use as many blocks as you need. Okay? Let's say you don't have blocks or you don't feel like dragging the blocks out. You can use something else. You could use pennies. I bet everybody has pennies. If you don't, I bet your mom or dad could go to the bank or to Walmart and get some change. A dime would make how many pennies? If you traded a dime for pennies, how many would you get? 10 pennies. Good. If you traded a quarter for pennies, how many pennies would you get? 25. That's exactly right. So I've got a handful of pennies here. Let's see. Can you see my pennies? I'm trying to get it where you can see them. There we go. So I've got some pennies. You can use that. You can use pennies. You could use nickels. You could use dimes. You could use quarters. It doesn't matter. You're just using them to count with, right? Another thing that I bet some of you may have from maybe a craft drawer or, just some extra buttons, these are little charms. And see, you can count them and you can use them to add or subtract. So that's something just you can use, like, for example, let's do a problem with these. If I had, can you see them? Here we go. There, that's a little better. If I had 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons, and somebody gave me 4 more buttons. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many buttons would I have all together? Well, do you notice how I lined them up? It's a lot easier to count things and to use your manipulatives if you keep them organized. So I'm trying to kind of keep them organized, and you should do that too. So let's count how many we had. So we had 4, plus we got 4 more. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4 plus 4 equals 8. Very good. The last thing that I got out to use as an example is Cheerios. I bet a lot of you have Cheerios at home. You could use as many of these as you want. If you're adding 25 plus 25, what would that be? 50, right? you could use that many Cheerios, because even in a bowl of Cheerios, you probably have 100. So Cheerios is another good example of something you can use for these stories. Okay? So just remember, a word problem is a story that asks you to solve a math problem. Okay? And you use those all the time. We're going to be using those all our lives. And so this week, practice really hard on your word problems. I think you're going to have a lot of fun. And you can even do extra practice with your parents or your brothers and sisters. Ask them word problems and just make stuff up for them, like I've been doing today. Just make up word problems for them and then solve them. So thanks a lot. I hope you enjoy figuring out what kind of manipulatives you have at home. And have a good day.